Hi there, this is Fibro Jedi, also the person who is behind LOTRO Family, so any complaints, they're all my fault. Um, this is the first in a totally experimental set of videos that I want to do on LOTRO, um, covering Beornings. The reason it's experimental is that I know nothing about them, apart from you can change from a person into a bear. On that basis, if you are also new to Beornings, then please do join with me and we can learn about this together. So this first one is just going to be me creating the character, because I want to have a look at what the new options are for this compared to the other races and classes that apply elsewhere in the game. So, on the whole, in the games that I play, I have a balance of male and female characters, and this one is no different. I have more male than female in this one at the moment, so I may pick a female Beorning, but let's see what we've got as a male. Okay. Thankfully, I'm going to choose a class. Now, did these have the change? No, interestingly, even though they updated humans, they didn't also update Beornings. How to say I'm slightly surprised by that, although technically you can see there's a very, very slight shade of difference down here, but that's all. So there's no real change in the appearance of a Beorning at this point, which means that will probably be lumped in when dwarves and hobbits are covered. Well, let's hope. So, Beornings descend from ancient men and can skin change into bears when angered. They're gruff, distrustful, impolite, respect all creatures of nature, and hate orcs more than anything. I can't think of a race that particularly loves orcs, but it's good to know that there is an absolute enemy of these people. Traits we've got here are Might of the Wild, so we get an extra plus 15 might to start off with. Few in number, that's hardly a surprise. This is not the biggest population in Middle-earth. Fate is in question, -7 fate, so for the regeneration stats, may need to buff fate later. Natural resistance, improve poison resistance. It's only 1%, but that's better than a slap in the face. Thick hide, increased vitality. We're very thick-skinned, there's a surprise. Plus 15 vitality. Bit of extra health and out of combat regeneration, if I've remembered correctly. So, the Beornings can fulfill all the roles by the look of what I've read elsewhere. So, it's damage or support. I think they can also be tanks, from what another player told me. Gameplay. Beornings are skin changers that can change into the form of a bear in combat. They focus their wrath while in bear form, choosing to deal grievous blows or bolster their own resolve. While skilled in combat, some Beornings also choose to wield their knowledge in the wilderness to assist their allies. Lore. The Beornings of Middle-earth are largely reclusive people. They trace their ancestry to Beorn himself, I'll need to research that person, and spend most of their time in the deep wilderness. Sounds perfect for me. The solitude of the forest gives little comfort in recent times with the enemy encroaching from all sides. The time has come for the descendants of Beorn to lend their strength to the free peoples of Middle-earth. This class is inspired by Beorn, who bravely stood with the free peoples during the Battle of the Five Armies. Always good to get a bit of background here to the Beorning. So let's have a look at character creation, given I know nothing. Unlike other characters that you can create, there's only one origin. Presumably that's something to do with Beorn himself. Like all Beornings, you hail from the woods and dales surrounding Anduin. Okay, from the shores near the Carrack up to the high pass through the Misty Mountains. Spent quite a bit of time in Misty Mountains recently, so I quite like that region. I don't mind coming from there. Now, the naming guidelines are really interesting. I've not come across these before. I'm used to the Eliels and Lasses and that kind of ending. So, from Old Norse, Grimbeorn, Folhuth, and Gultoth are examples of Beorning names. I apologise in advance if I'm mispronouncing any of these. I love Lord of the Rings, and but I don't know as much about the lore as I probably should. Common endings, I won't list them all here, are Beorn, shockingly, Bert, Brand, Gills, Fast. Some prefixes, Both, Froth, Heim, Moth, Neff. So quite rough sounding names, which is absolutely fine. I suspect some of these head things are going to be very similar to what we have for human males and human females. I've got some extra details potentially, and I'm pretty sure I've seen some people's Beornings have tattoos, so let's have a look at that in a minute. So, the usual variety of heads. They may be different to humans. I don't have the great observation skills. Hairstyles. I think if you're going to be a bear, you want fairly rough looking hair, which we've got for the most part here. They're not the well trimmed, I've been to have my hair done at Rivendell kind of hairstyles, are they? Although from what I've seen, some of the high elf hairstyles are not too dissimilar, but that's a job for a different day. Okay, so I'm not sure about the short hairdo for someone who lives out in the wild. We can come back to that. Facial hair, a beard to make even the dwarves look quite look on in awe. Yeah, I think certainly for the male Beornings, the more facial hair, the better maybe. Depends on how appropriately you want your human form to mirror the fact that you are in fact a bear as well. Okay, we've only got 3 options for eyes. That's not a great deal to worry about there. Eyebrows, we've got 6 of those. Again, if I was going to go for the male, 1 is quite furry, and 3. So 1 and 3 look pretty good at this point. Mouth, I'd like to have a mouth, please. Yes. Ah, interestingly, the mouth changed some of the beard things. Now that is odd. So you can... It's not odd if you've created Beornings before, of course. I've just, as I said, this is completely new to me, but why you would have dark beard with a light moustache. Suppose you could have some element of style with that. But the actual mouth itself, unlike some character creations, is not actually changing. The lips are staying exactly the same, so you get the same lack of expression in this instance. Details. Now, this is the... Yeah. This was the tattoos thing I mentioned earlier, so you can have none, but I think if you've got an option that other classes don't have, then we should have a look at taking that. Some interesting options here. I'd really be intrigued to see how this changes for the female. Extra options are the usual range of scars. Okay, that's fine. Hair colours range from grey. I find this colour scale really hard to use. I've tried to get white hair before and I get a light grey as the closest. All the way through to dark brown, and it looks like black hair is not an option for a Beorning. So no black bears. Skin colours. You're out in the wild, so I don't know why you'd want really pale skin. But you can go through to having really dark skin, which is actually quite cool because the humans you can't for some reason. It'll be a lore reason. And the eye colours, again, you've got a really wide range here from a beautiful pale grey down to ridiculously dark here, or even red eyes, which is just awesome. That just helps to personalise it better. Okay, if we go back now, let's have a look at if we were going to create a female Beorning. How does this change? What options have we got that are different? Body type. I think I missed that on the blokes because it was at the bottom. Really wide shoulders. Not too dissimilar. As appropriately, the female Beornings can look quite muscly, which I think is totally appropriate to the class. Okay. Apologise, I'm trying not to sound monotonous. I have a cold, and I'm managing pain all the time, so I'm doing my best here. Hairstyles, some similar ideas to the blokes classes at least, but definitely some more feminine looking ones. I think LOTRO put some effort into the look of hair during the avatar update, and I think some of these have come through to classes where, although they haven't remodeled the faces, I'm assuming they haven't. The female looks more modelled than the male one. No, it's no different. Okay. Yes, I've seen Beornings with these kind of half crew cut hairstyles, which is quite neat. I'm not sure how well I would fit with that me personally. And some of the ones that match the blokes' hairstyles. So quite a lot to personalise. Again, some of these hairstyles look a little bit high elfish from the previews I've seen. I don't have access to Mordor yet, and won't have for a while. Hoping to get high elf in winter. But yeah, okay, so a few extra. It feels a bit more flexible with the hairdos with the females at least. Eyes. We have 8 different eyes rather than the 3 presumably to do with like eyeshadow-esque stuff. I guess you could use mud as eyeshadow if you're out in the wild. Eyebrows. Let me just put some hair on this one. I'm not sure I want to play a bald lady. That is just my personal preference. Okay. Eyebrows. I'm not sure you really. Well, I personally wouldn't want to go something like that. It looks too crafted for someone who is out in the wild. That's a bit rougher. I'm not sure plucking them all out is really my cup of tea either. But now we've got 16 mouths with the ladies. Well, at least 16 mouth colours. The shape changes a little bit. I guess you could, if you wanted to, put effectively lipstick on your female. If they've got war paint for the tattoos, or detail as it's actually called, there's no reason that couldn't be set to match, or at least be a close match to. Not that I can find a match. I spend quite a lot of time usually creating my Beorning. Well, any character. Extra detail presumably will be the tattoos again, will they? Oh no, sorry, the extra details are the scars. Details are the tattoos, there we go. So there's a few extra prettier looking ones for the female Beornings, which is making me err on the... I don't know, one of those I'd quite like to have both male and female Beornings, but I think I might go for... I don't know, haven't decided, I don't know. So again, you got the eye colours that range from the white, quite striking eyes there, through to the really dark, if I can click the thing, dark brown, dusky browns. But we can see from nature, green eyes, although I think I've got some of my other characters with green eyes. Oranges, pinks even. So I love the variety of options you've got here. Skin colour, again, ranges from the light to the very dark. Hair colour is the same range as I would expect, although I can get closer to black with this one. I'm not sure why I wasn't able to do it with male. Anyway, detail colour, I think I missed off the male Beorning, so you don't have to stick with that tattoo. You can have blue, green, orange, pink, or if you want to get really dusky, you go for black. But I think the strength for me personally would be in the striking distance, striking colour contrast with the rest of the character creation. So there's a lot going on when I first create my Beorning. Question is, do I want a male or a female Beorning? I think I might break with tradition and create a male. There's just something about having the epic amount of facial hair that fits with the wild. And no, I don't think the female should therefore have beards. So let's actually create something here. I do want my Beorning to have hair. In fact, I'd quite like to have quite a lot of hair. So what we got here, some long hair. No, short hair I'm not going to go with. I think I've got something that looks like that already. That kind of ragged look, I think, is going to play it. That was number 8. Do I want the ears showing through? Not sure I do. 11 is a bit more ragged. I think I want to go for as much ragged as possible with this. If I'm out in the wild, I want to look like I'm from the wild. So it's either 13 or 11. I think 13 looks rougher, so let's go for that. Facial hair, again, I think that just looks a little bit cowboy to me, so I'm not going to do that. Yeah, let's just go for full-on beard, shall we? Eyes, the darker the better, probably. 1's fine. Eyebrows, what did I say? 5 or 3? Yeah. Oh no, 1 is quite... That suits. Okay, let's do that. Did I choose my body type? No. Big bloke, average bloke, thinnish bloke. Now let's go for really broad shoulders with this one. I haven't got a really broad shouldered anything yet, and I've got 8 characters. So, back in. I've done the eyebrows, done mouth. I don't think anything to do with the mouth will really show. You can get a little bit of extra stubble around the edges to make it look a little less trimmed. So number 2 is looking good. Or 6. Much the muchness. Let's do that. Other detail, there's not much space on my face anymore for extra things, but I don't think smooth skin works, so we want some form of scarring or aging. Oh, drat. I'll come back to the details in a second. I don't mind having an older looking one for once. A little bit of a frown going on there with 8. Instead of scar, I'm just going to go for... Oh, that's better. Yep, I don't mind having an older character. Now, the eye colour and paint colour, I want to be contrasting. Thankfully, I've gone for a dark hair colour. And if I could make it, I just managed to make it lighter instead of darker. Which wasn't really what I was going for. Let me try clicking away and back down. There we go. Okay. So, as we've got all these these amazing, striking eye colours, what should we go for? I don't want to go for green. I've got a couple of green-eyed elves, I think. Something... They channel rage. Yeah. So something like red. Does that not look a little bit freaky? Maybe it looks a little bit freaky. I did say at the start, I actually really like the striking whiteness of this. So let's go for white eyes here. But then we can go for... red or reddish brown. I'm a bit indecisive. Orange. Problem is with this is I don't know how the outfits are going to work. And so colouring outfits, I can decide that later. This teal works really well. Blue is that. I think that's looking like a winner. Purple's too dark for this. Pink I'm not going to put on him. I think I'm going to end up creating 2 Beornings, you know. Yellow, no, not a fan. No, I think I'm going to go with one of these teal shades. There's no right answer, and I can always visit the barber if I get annoyed. So there we go. There's my first Beorning ready to go. The only question now is name. Now I can almost guarantee if I pick any of these combinations, it'll be taken. As I don't know anything much beyond what I've read out today about Beornings, I'm going to choose the randomizer. Bolif, no. Gerong. Olog. Quite like that. Olog. Lothfair. That's nicer. And shall we see if that's available? It is. So there we go. Thank you very much. I know it's been a bit of a long video here. As I said, I'm learning Beorning the same as anybody else. So as I develop this, I will post more, and join me next time to see how I start. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. Bye.